In the second divorce kit, we're going to go into great detail about motions. A motion is something that is brought in court in which you ask for something. So if you want to ask for child support, exclusive possession of the house, the sale of a property, the use of a car that's been taken away from you, spousal support, those types of things. In fact, anything you want to ask for at the initial stages are done through motion. And we're going to help you understand what has to be in the forms that are filled out to bring this motion. And we're going to take you through the motion form itself and the affidavit that you have to fill out in order to put your case before a court. Courts do not permit you to walk into the courtroom and just speak. What a court requires is for you to put everything that you have to say in an affidavit. And then you can go into the court with that affidavit and you can speak to the judge and you can tell the judge what's in your affidavit. There are also issues about time frames and timelines. When do you bring a motion? How do you bring a motion? When can you not bring a motion? Which brings us to another part of divorce kit number 2, which deals with case conferences, because unless it is an emergency situation, a motion cannot be brought before a case conference. So we will be showing you how to organize a case conference. We will be telling you what a case conference is for, what happens at a case conference, how to fill out the case conference brief, what needs to go in it, and how to conduct yourself at a case conference. Then we will go back to the motion process and deal with how to conduct yourself at a motion, how to actually effectively argue that motion, how to respond to the other party's argument at a motion, how to ask for costs, because even if you're self-represented, you're entitled to costs if you win, how to draft and take out an order for the court to sign at the end of a motion, and how to enforce those orders. It's not just good enough for you to obtain an order, you have to know how to enforce that order if someone ignores it. So those are all of the things that we will deal with in our second divorce kit. In addition, we're going to be going through the different types of motions. There are motions for all sorts of different things. There are motions for support, there are motions for custody, there are motions for acquiring property, getting property back that the other person has, selling property that's joint property that you want to sell. There's motions to ask for restraining orders, financial disclosure, all sorts of different things. In fact, anything you can think of that you might want can be asked for during a motion. So you really need to know how to bring these motions. You need to know what a support deduction order is, and we'll be helping you with that. When do I get a support deduction order? How do I get it? What do I do with it? Who collects the money for me? You need to understand about financial disclosure, which we will be talking about. What is financial disclosure? In our first divorce kit, we talked about financial statements. In our second divorce kit, we talked about financial disclosure. Financial disclosure is different. How do I get it? Why do I need it? We're going to talk about the consequences of ignoring an order, both if you're the one who ignores the order or you're the one who's being ignored, and how to get the other person's attention and what the consequences are of doing that. And finally, we're going to talk about the Family Responsibility Office, who they are, what they do, how they do it, whether you should use them to assist you in collecting money, or if money is being collected from you, what the consequences are of ignoring them. Also in this divorce kit, we are going to be providing you with an overview of the rules of the court. And the rules of the court are fairly complex, and it's not something that we're going to be able to cover in enormous detail, but we're certainly going to make sure that you are aware of the important rules and what kind of impact they're going to have on your case. So we're going to go through some of these rules that govern the procedure in the court. We're going to go through some of the various legislation, such as the Divorce Act, the Family Law Act, and the Children's Law Reform Act. And we're going to also talk a bit about case law, why you need to know where to find it and how it can help you. And that will take us to the end of the second divorce kit. So it contains a great deal of information that's very, very useful at what will be a critical stage of your divorce proceeding, your family law proceeding.